What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, back in 2019, when Marvel Studios first announced that they would be doing live-action TV shows on Disney+, it really wasn't the experiment that it appeared to be. Yes, live-action television in the Marvel Cinematic Universe was new in the sense that throughout the Infinity Saga, Marvel Studios had operated 10 years successfully without doing so, but Marvel TV was already a thing. See Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or even the shows on Netflix, live-action Marvel television shows had already been done successfully, so we assumed Marvel Studios would step up and just take them as a blueprint. One thing, however, that was an experiment was the addition of animation to Marvel Studios and the release of What If Season 1. And while What If Season 1 seemed to be embraced by the community, a lot of people really looking forward to the second season, the sentiment seemed to be mirrored by Marvel Studios themselves, doubling down and adding Spider-Man Freshman Year and X-Men 97 to the slate coming up in the next few years. However, it appears as though everything is not all good on the animation front over at Marvel Studios, and now according to some industry insiders and brand new rumors, some of them may be on the chopping block with their future uncertain. We're going to break down these latest updates on what's going on as far as Marvel Studios' animation side of Disney+, and how it really speaks to a larger symptom at whole, something that's going on over at Disney, and how it will affect the future of Marvel and Disney+. We're breaking it all down, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews to the occasional industry insider report, tweet, or rumor, and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the sub button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway if you want. Stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so yesterday, industry insider, editor, and contributor over at Geeks Worldwide, Casey Walsh, you can follow him over on Twitter at @TheComicsKid with an X, tweeted out a GIF alongside the quote, "I'm concerned Marvel animation is going to become a failed experiment," leading to some open discourse and the follow-up that he's already hearing some shows are in trouble, layoffs are happening, and creators don't know what their future holds. Now keep in mind, aside from What If Season 2, X-Men 97, Spider-Man Freshman Year, and Marvel Zombies have already been confirmed, so there are still 4 separate episodic full-length animated shows to come out in Disney Plus over the next couple of years. So when he says some shows are already in trouble, I take that to mean some of these. But before we get into which ones and why, we have to talk about what's really going on further up the food chain at Disney and why animation would even be the first up to be cut in the first place. Back when I had a chance to interview the writer and director on What If Season 1, they made sure to impart just how laborious the medium of animation was, and the director's quote was actually that it was a medium of patience. They started working on What If Season 1 in the early parts of 2018, and although it would have been ready in 2020, it took them over 2 years to develop and actually make the show. That goes on to say the rest of these animated projects that they're hoping to embark on take a ton of work and investment, and it's the investment from the side of money, how often and how long you're paying a team to do a TV show, and what you can make back on that TV show that may lead someone like Bob Chapek, who never really believed in the film side the way that Bob Iger did. We're going to talk about that in a second, to look at what's on the slate for Marvel and Disney. Where can we cut corners? Animation would be the first to go, only because the ROI, the return on investment, is so low. The current CEO, Chief Executive Officer over at Disney, Bob Chapek, is very different in the previous one, Bob Iger, that we had throughout a majority while Marvel Studios was making the Infinity Saga. Bob Iger was lockstep with Kevin Feige as far as investing in Marvel Studios, and the cinematic experience as a huge revenue builder for Disney. That's not to say that Bob Chapek would all of a sudden stop investing in films tomorrow. Movies are a huge part of what Disney does, and you also could argue that movies, merch, the theme parks, they all go in lockstep. But from looking at the pie that is the revenue that Disney brings in, Bob Chapek would rather invest in the theme parks. He's very public and on record about doing that. Also, the investment necessity of Disney Plus is less important than ever. Just last week, it was reported that between Disney Plus and Hulu, ESPN, everything that Disney owns, they have 235.7 million subscribers, which beats out Netflix global reach of 223.09 million subscribers. Basically, they're killing it. So where investment was important when they were launching the platform is up and running and successful. If they're looking to sort of make budget cuts in any area, you go after the TV shows that have the lowest ROI, the ones that are the most expensive and take the longest to make and have the lowest ratings. It's not because of specifically just animated television being a huge investment in the first place. but also because Marvel TV shows have not had the kind of ratings that you might expect some of them to have. For instance, She-Hulk only got about 5 or 6 million plays over the first 2 episodes of the series, while something like House of Dragon netted almost double that on episode 10 alone, 9.3 million. And while we'd have to look at the numbers specifically for what happened with What If, that's what brings me back to the earlier part of this conversation during this video. One of these shows, some of these shows in trouble, I think What If Season 2 and X-Men 97, because of what they represent for the Marvel brand, are safe. Bo DeMeo is writing X-Men 97. He's also the guy working on Blade. He's a live action writer. They've already put too much investment in that show not to get it done. Also, what X-Men the animated series represents in Marvel fandom, it would be a huge blow for them to cancel something like that. But something like Marvel Zombies, that's where they may look to make extensive cuts, and that's why some of these shows either might get nixed from the slate entirely or look very different in their size and scope with a much smaller investment. And I think that this is supported by the most recent report that Marvel Studios is also looking towards special presentations to present some of these characters and stories instead of the drawn out 6 or 9 episode season where we've seen here real recently. Even if there's, say, half of the season is really good episodes, there's just episodes of filler that perhaps don't need to be there. Now you can present something like Norrin Radd Silver Surfer in a 45-minute to hour and a half long film. That's way less to produce, way less of an investment, and perhaps for ratings and the fandom serves the same purpose. And that's ultimately what this comes down to now. Disney Plus is up and flying. If it's not going to actually yield numbers on the investment, if it's just putting money towards something for the sake of it, it looks like Marvel Studios and Disney are going to tighten their belt there and not just make filler, which I'm all for, but also empathize with content creators who thought maybe they were signed on for Marvel Zombies for a 6 or 9 episode season and maybe just got told that that's going to turn into a special presentation and they don't need half of the animators that they hired because it's only going to be 45 minutes or an hour. That sort of thing in the industry happens all the time, and you can't help but feel for artists, which may be the impetus of some of this updates. But again, go follow Casey Walsh over on Twitter at @thecomicsKid with an X. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. Okay, we're still giving away a PlayStation 5 at 1 million subscribers. We're right around the corner from that giveaway, but if you want to be entered to win or for any of the other giveaways we announce here at the channel, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button because you need to be a subscriber, then leave a comment down below. Because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, the same way we're doing here. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you liked today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at I'mFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, wherever you listen to original music under the name Allfires. And while I sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.